Hello everybody, welcome back to Path of Nostalgia. In this episode we are looking at Pigeon Street. So Pigeon Street is a animated show done by, sort of like an animation company that they've, founded very much. I can't remember what the animation company is called. However, it's to do with a place called Pigeon Street, inhabited by pigeons. Well, it's mainly through the perspective of actual pigeons and the daily adventures of the townspeople, what they go through. Obviously, like everyday life. It's like a perspective of everyday life. So, obviously the episodes do with like certain events in life, do with neighbours who can be too loud, people working, various events, weather, I think another one's called about weather, I think, people facing British weather, I think, and yeah, it's basically, it's like a simplicity type series very much, I would say. That's about it. It's just like, well, like I say, it's like a bit simplicity anthology type thing very much. Like you've got, it's just tales do with different topics, the day, work, weather, neighbours, so on, very much like what happens in a city, what happens in a town. So that's what I can say about that. This might be short. So anyway, how did I get into Pigeon Street? Well, firstly, thing enough, how I came across Pigeon Street, it was actually through the TV show Rosie and Jim. In the early days, in the first two seasons of the John Conliffe era, in the first two ones in the early 90s, from 1990 to 1992, there used to be at the end of the episodes, at the end of the episodes, there was always this animated segment in telling that John Conliffe written a story about Rose and Jim, and he wrote it, and he actually narrates it at the end, like this little short story, and the people who made Pigeon Street actually animated the segment they did. And obviously they've done that for about, I would say, well, how many episodes did Rose and Jim, run the John Conliffe era? About 50. There's like 50 episodes that did, and animated all of them. They animated 15 segments, the animated segments, for about 2 or 3 years, which is interesting. And it's just to do with the various things that they did, like, I'm not going to say much about Rose and Jim for a later, maybe for a video, I'd say, for obvious reasons, obvious for the title. So yeah, they just did the animated ones and showcase what Rose and Jim actually discover on their travels in the actual episode that they were doing, in the puppet live action bit, and then again, sort of like we have a different take in animated form. So that's about it. They were never used again whatsoever from '94 onwards. So because the different ragdoll owners had their own different ideas, very much like with painting and music and that sort of thing. However, in Conliffe's decisions and obviously presentation of the show, I think it's respectable and interesting, and that's how I got into the sort of animated style with Pigeon Street. So the animation style, obviously, through Pigeon Street and the various projects that they did afterwards, it's quite good. I mean, it's got this sort of like bubbly, chunky, balloonish design they do, which is interesting. I mean, especially with the human characters, they all have this sort of style to them, and I think it's quite nice. It's not jerky, as I think. It's sort of like a slim, sort of loose feel to it, which is quite good. It's colourful as well. It's not dark or muted or anything like that. It's got this bright colourfulness, and it's got, there's no voice characters whatsoever. It's just a narrator narrating everything. And the main sort of characters of this are the townspeople, but it's mainly the pigeons. The pigeons mainly eye down on what people are doing. Like, they fly around and see what a different story happens, if you know what I mean, within the episode itself. I mean, if you go down, like, the episode I remember watching was Noisy Neighbours. Obviously, I think I remember the scene, obviously, when all the pigeons actually went to the windowsill of some person's house. Either they were banging about or listening to very loud music or something. It is just like that, they spy on the locals. They do, to see what adventures they get up to. That's about it, really. that's sort of the premise of the whole series, and it basically lasted for one season and never came back again. Though the animation style has popped up here again, i.e. Rose and Jim, i.e. wherever. And I don't know if about the company though, but I think either they're still going strong or if they've now defunct or disintegrated, who knows. And that's about it really, that's all I can think about Pigeon Street. So I've been talking about that show, Pigeon Street, which came out, I think it came out in 81, I did, early 80s that came out. And it's interesting, it is, I mean it's about it's pigeons spying on townspeople, and yeah, I think that's about it I can really think of. Though animation wise, it's good. I mean, I sort of think it's a nice animation style to the show, and it's just perfectly alright. So anyway, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you for the next. Thank you for watching.